Welcome back to another episode of Franchise Fit Podcast, and I'm Lance Graulich.
Up next,
do I need the full amount in cash? Usually no. Funding options that actually get deals done. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about budgeting mistakes. This episode sponsored by SEO Samba. Empower your franchise with predictable results and AI-driven marketing. How much do you really need for a franchise? Most people overestimate what franchising costs, and they massively underestimate what it can return. And that mismatch, bad math, bad assumptions, is why smart people stay stuck in research mode. For years, it sometimes feels like forever. Today, I'm going to break down exactly how much money you really need to buy a franchise, what the investment ranges look like across all different industries, the real funding options that actually work, the biggest budgeting mistakes first-time buyers make, and what you need financially to start strong instead of stressed. Welcome once again to the Franchise Fit Podcast. And if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you a simple franchise money test that you can use in 60 seconds to know what tier you're in and what type of franchises you should actually be looking at. Now, if you want free advice, I'm happy to work with you as well. So let's start here, asking how much does a franchise cost? It's like asking how much does a house cost? A condo in Ohio is not a beachfront home in Malibu. Same word, totally different universe. So the better question is, how much do I need to invest to reach my income goal with my risk tolerance and my timeline? Because cost or investment matters, but cash flow, speed to revenue, and margin matter more. A $150,000 franchise that can ramp fast and produce consistent cash flow can be a better deal than a $400,000 franchise that takes 18 months to break even. Here's the simplest way to think about franchise investment ranges. I'll give you the ranges and what typically lives in each bucket. Bucket A, under $75,000 all in. These are usually home-based, low overhead, often B2B or niche services, sometimes consulting or coaching businesses, and sometimes they're even part-time friendly. You don't have to be a full-time owner. The reality check, many of these require you to be the engine, driving all of it. Sales, delivery, networking, everything. Examples of these businesses, Schooley Mitchell, low-cost consulting model, Doxa, all about outsourcing. Bucket B, real estate perhaps. Franchises like True Nest Property Management. Mobile services like Gym Guys. Senior home care brands like Home Helpers, Homewell, HomeWatch. Up to 150 you can get into a brand. Some simple retail and service industry footprints as well. It's all about support, marketing systems in place to grow quickly. Still often low overhead, but usually more scalable than Bucket A. Other examples, Dryer Vent Wizard. Break Coffee focuses on workplace coffee. Tippy Toes Dance Studio for kids. Leah is the number 1 or 2 franchisee. I put her in place. I have too many options for this category. Moving on, Bucket C, 150 grand to 350. This is a huge sweet spot, a sweet spot zone, if you will. You'll see many home service brands that are ready to scale in this category. Established brands with proven lead generation, light build outs, modest equipment, vans, owner-operator or manager-led, also known as semi-absentee. Those options are all available in this category. That One Painter is a good example. Insulation Commandos, Pink's Window Cleaning, Rolling Suds, big commercial power washing brand, Voda Restoration and Cleaning, 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. All great examples. Busy Bee Jumpers, not only for kids, they have jumpers for adults. And the Tox, a lymphatic massage brand, Great Clips, Sport Clips, hair salons, all great examples in this category. Let's talk about Bucket D. Now realize I represent 800 brands. Yeah, Bucket D, 350 to 800,000. This is where you're getting into a bigger footprint, retail, food. When I did Wingstop, it was 350,000 to open one location. Can't imagine what it is these days. It's probably closer to 500. Gyms and fitness studios like Body 20. It's a hot EMS concept, electromuscular stimulation, wellness, medical, beauty concepts with build out like Prime IV, IV drips are hot. Big business these days. Everybody's worried about their health. Go Glow, instead of a traditional tanning salon, it's a spray tanning business. And guess what? Lady Gaga loves it. These all have the multi-unit potential, really to build something big, scale and grow. Bucket E, the big daddies, 800,000 to several million. Now we're getting into QSR. Think of McDonald's and Huey Magoo's chicken tenders and Wendy's. Prime real estate required for these build-outs, multi-unit groups, concepts that require deep capitalization. Schools are really big these days. Celebree, Lightbridge. We always want to take care of our pets, kids, and senior citizens. Their model, let's say Lightbridge Academy, $2 million a year plus in revenue is their goal. Great opportunity. Now here's the part people miss. Total investment is not the same thing as cash you need in the bank. That's the biggest mental unlock, I guess you could say, in this entire episode. Do I need the full amount in cash? Usually no. Let's say a franchise's total investment's 300 grand. A lot of people assume, cool, I need 300,000 cash. You don't, not necessarily. Depending on the model, the lender, your credit. I represent a lot of great lenders that can help you. Your income, the business category, you might need just 10% down. Typically, it's closer to 20% plus reserves. I mentioned Celebree and Lightbridge earlier. I was talking to a couple lenders recently. You can put down as little as 10% on some of those brands, especially if you're buying the real estate, the land underneath those buildings. That $300,000 project might mean as little as $30,000 down, could be as much as $60,000 down, plus working capital reserves. You never want to run out of money, but it's always good to have that extra buffer. And I'm not here to sell fantasies. Funding is real, and lenders are not charity, which is why the next section really matters. Funding options that actually get deals done. Let's talk about this. These are the main funding routes that franchise buyers use. SBA loans, typically 7A loans. It's the most common. This is the heavyweight option for many franchise buyers. SBA loans often work best when you have a credit score of 690 or higher. You can document your income, meaning you're a W-2 job. That makes it easy. If you're not, we can work through that process. You're also buying into a proven model that the SBA has an easy time underwriting. Again, I can help you with this. Good news. I have lenders for all of these brands. Some brands even have preferred lenders, which makes underwriting easy. You can handle the payment during ramp up. Very important. You have to be able to. SBA can fund a big portion of startup costs, but the bank still wants you to have skin in the game. Second option besides SBA is rollovers, business startup loans. This is where you use eligible retirement funds like a 401k to invest in your business without taking a traditional loan. And ROBS is a rollover business startup loan. It could be powerful, but it's got to be done correctly, and it's going to be done through a third party. I have plenty of those lenders as well, and it's not for everyone. 3, line of credit or a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. Some people use this home equity line or a personal line of credit. Great option to tap in your equity. I like portfolio lines of credit, similar to a HELOC, and you get to leverage your stock portfolio. Why not? You don't have to sell the stock either. The fourth one, let's talk about partnerships. This can be an amazing strategy if it's structured well. Call me, I'll help you with this. You could even talk to my attorney, Michael. He is an expert at structuring partnership agreements. The rule of thumb for partnerships is no surprises. It's like a prenuptial agreement for a marriage, but it's a business. Same thing, important relationship. And in general with partnerships, one partner brings the capital usually. The other partner brings the operations experience or prowess or skill or whatever it might be. Or one brings sales, one brings management. But partnerships only work when expectations are crystal clear. Remember, no surprises. Who does what? Who decides what? How profits are split? What happens if this, that, the other thing? What happens if one of them wants to get out? Let's talk about budgeting mistakes. The most common budgeting mistakes for first-time buyers. If you want to avoid pain, avoid these mistakes. Mistake number 1, you only budget for the franchise fee. Some franchises want to sell you some fantasy. The reality is the franchise fee is just the ticket to get in the game. The real spend is the build out, the marketing, the equipment, the payroll, insurance, vehicle, whatever working capital. But all great brands and myself as a franchise broker will coach you on the capital requirements. So you should be very well prepared and set up for success. Mistake number 2, you underestimate the ramp-up time. Have you heard this before? The ramp-up period is typically how long it will take you to get to break even. This is huge. This is a big one. Even great franchises take time to ramp up and stabilize. If you assume you'll be profitable in month 1, you're setting a trap for yourself. Talk to other franchisees in the due diligence process and verify what the ramp-up period is. Some people can be cash flow positive almost right away, within the first month sometimes. Other brands could take months or even longer. And mistake number 3, you forget about your personal lifestyle. Your household needs $8,000 a month to survive, and you just quit your job. You need a plan for that gap. Business success isn't just revenue, it's that survival during this startup period. Mistake number 4, you don't budget enough for marketing and sales activities. Marketing fuels your business. Some franchises bring you more leads than others. Others build lead flow with consistent marketing efforts. Either way, you need a real plan that's going to work for you, for your marketing spend and your sales process and your market. All great brands help you with. When I first opened my very first Wingstop in Las Vegas, I only did $5,000 opening week. I did over like 22,000. Actually, I have it. I did $34,931.52. You probably can't see this. $34,931.52. That was at store 4. So the point of my story is that you might not come out of the gate hot. It might take some time. Mistake number 5, you don't keep that buffer. Unexpected costs are not a possibility. They're a guarantee. Extra cash never hurt any business. Permits, delays, hiring. I could tell you a permit story from one of the Wingstops. Equipment issues. Stuff happens. So if you want one rule, undercapitalization is the silent killer. What do I actually need financially to start strong? All right, here's the practical answer. What do you really need? 3 numbers. Your number 1, liquidity. Available liquidity, not your net worth, your liquid cash you can access without detonating your life. Number 2, your runway or reserves. I like most buyers to plan for 3 to 6 months of combined business and personal cushion, depending on the model. And number 3, risk tolerance, or call it debt comfort. Some people sleep great with leverage, also known as debt. Some people hate being in debt. Neither is right, but pretending you're one when you're actually the other is how you self-sabotage. Especially if you're married, you got to be careful with that. So now here's my quick franchise money test. If you have $25,000 to $60,000 liquid, you're going to look at low overhead models. Home-based, mobile, business-to-business, owner-operator. Again, I'm going to help you with all this if you need it. Free advice. $60,000 to $150,000 liquid. You have more options, more scalable home service brands, senior home care brands. Just get a modest office. Build outs are easy. Potential for small teams. Start to not have to do everything yourself. $150,000 to $300,000 liquid. Sky's the limit. You can consider the higher build out concepts, multi-territory. You can put in more on infrastructure, more team. Great brands out there in all categories, but depending on your income, your credit, and your goals, it just depends. And if you're thinking, Lance, I'm not sure where I fit, that's exactly what I help people solve. Matching your budget, your skill set, timeline, income targets to the right franchise categories, the right fit for you. So if you take nothing else from this episode, take this. The goal isn't to buy the cheapest franchise. Cheap is not good. The goal is to buy the franchise that can realistically hit your income target with a launch plan you can fund without panic. If you want help figuring out what you can afford and what fits you, shoot me a message. DM me with the word budget, and I'll help you map your range and your best categories. And as always, you're not finding a business, you're finding a fit. See you on the next episode of the Franchise Fit Podcast.